What's going on today, guys? Welcome back to another video, and this is kind of a bonus video for you guys this week, but I'm going to be updating my setup a little bit. So a lot of you guys know that I have an Xbox One. It's my primary gaming console, and eventually I do plan on collecting more, as I do own quite a few consoles already. I've done a video on that in the past, before I moved actually. But the consoles I actually have in my possession right now, I have a 3DS, a PSP, a Game Boy Advance SP, a Game Boy Color, and a PlayStation 2, as well as the aforementioned Xbox One. Eventually, I plan on adding to that collection. I do want to get the NES and SNES Classic. I've been a bit of a retro nerd my entire life. I've had a bit of a love for older games. I still play a lot of like Namco Museum, which is a game on PlayStation 2 that featured a lot of old Namco games, which included the original Pac-Man, and I loved that game. I played it a lot. I own 2 original PlayStation games, Gran Turismo 1 and 2. I'm just a bit of a retro nerd. I like retro games a lot. And there's a lot of things I have planned for stuff like that. I do eventually want to start collecting older consoles, such as Famicoms and, stuff like that. But currently, I'm just sticking with what I know, what I've grown up with, and all the consoles that, I'm used to playing. On the modern day consoles right now. The oldest console I own is that Game Boy Color, which is, a Game Boy. It's 8-bit, which is pretty neat because I never really got a chance to experience 8-bit before that. So, anyway, the purpose of today's video is, as you can see, there's a monitor hiding right here. This is actually my mom's old desktop monitor. Her desktop bit the dust a couple days ago, and she is no longer, going to keep that desktop. She's on their way of getting a cradle full of hard drives that she's going to use to transfer her files over to her laptop. She has quite a powerhouse of laptop. Not as powerful as mine per se, but it's pretty close. But I got her old monitor. It's an HP 2009M monitor. It does run on VGA, and what I'm waiting on right now is the VGA adapter. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting the setup for the Xbox One on that monitor right here, around where that toolbox is. And I know what you're thinking, there's nowhere to put it. Well, the little bar stool is going to have to come out for a little while because it's my only option right now until I can get an actual desk made. Because originally, I do eventually want to set up a side desk right here where these 2 pillows are. I apologize for how much of a mess my room looks. And have it mounted sideways to my main desk, which has my Logitech G920 and this metal chair that I use as a chair. I would use this rack right here, which is where I usually keep all my stuff, like my headsets and my controllers and all that stuff. And eventually the Logitech headset way up there. But the monitor can't fit there. But that's kind of the plan for right now. I'm waiting on the adapter, like I said, to hook it up to HDMI, because that's literally all that's left. And the last thing I want to mention is something I eventually am going to do. I'm going to do a video on it as well. Is, this. This is the retro decal girl skin for the Xbox One. Like I said, I'm a bit of a retro game nerd, and the Xbox One in dimensions is very similar to an NES. It's a little bit wider, but just the way it's shaped looks very similar. And they also have a controller skin, which I'm probably not going to buy the controller skin through there because it is quite expensive just to put some stickers on a controller. I am probably going to buy this skin, though, because it is the best looking one I've seen so far. I've been interested in skins for a long time. I used to have one on my DS Lite way before I started doing YouTube. And I do want to get this one really bad because, it's similar setup, almost just modern, So that's kind of my plan with that. I'm going to be doing that hopefully very soon, actually. I'm getting finally a more debit setup for myself. As a lot of you guys know, I got my first credit card not too long ago. So that's kind of the story behind that. But anyway, I'm going to go get my stuff set up and we're going to get everything moved. Alright, so we've got all the equipment we need. We got the bar stool, which is being used as the desk for right now until I get something a bit better. Like I said, 2009M monitor. It's quite large, which is pretty good because, it's a lot smaller than my giant television, which is an SD TV. In case you guys were wondering which model of the Xbox One I had, if you haven't been subscribed for a while, this is a Model 1, as I like to call it, which is the big one that they came out with at first. This does not include the Kinect, obviously. It's kind of dusty. I haven't cleaned it in a while. I really should, especially since I'm getting ready to skin it. So we have the HDMI cable and the power cable. The VGA cable is still sitting over on my entertainment system, or entertainment center, I should say. We've got my library games, not really a lot. A lot of these are used, and I got them relatively cheap, like Madden 15 and WWE 2K16. I'm not a big fan of WWE as a general rule, but I do like the games for whatever reason.
also GTA 5, Forza Horizon 3, Mortal Kombat XL, Infinite Warfare, which I've only played once.
Besides that, really, we've got everything I need. I've got my controller down here. I've got the power brick down here. Now, I got to figure out how I'm going to wire everything up, because currently there are going to be 3 power adapters being hooked up, one for the monitor, one for the Xbox One, and one for the adapter, as long as it doesn't need it. Sometimes I read somewhere that depending on power output, it won't need the micro USB to be plugged in, but just in case, I'm going to go ahead and have a spot saved in my power strip to do it, which is hiding behind my standard def television. The plan is to hook up the monitor itself to the wall, because I do have 2 wall outlets, one of which is taken up by the power strip, and then have everything else, the Xbox and the adapter, hooked up to the power strip. Currently, like I said, all my equipment's down here. I've got all my games and the monitor itself. Eventually, once I do get a new desk setup, my setup I want for this thing is to have a side desk located next to my actual computer setup where I keep my Asus, which is sitting right behind me for once, and have a console wall, which will include the Xbox One, my hopefully future SNES and NES classics, as well as hopefully Nintendo Switch, because the 3DS is on its way out, as I've kind of hinted at before. I have a 2011 3DS, one of the original XL models. I never upgraded. It was part of my complaints in the Pokemon Sun and Moon review I did last year, where I just complained about how it ran horrible on the standard 3DS software and hardware setup and stuff like that. With the Switch coming out soon, or having already came out, I don't know why it's coming out soon. I've known its existence because my friends have one. One of my friends, or 2 of my friends actually have one, I believe. I do eventually want to pick one up, and I will be wrapping that, or skinning it, as very well as I am with the Xbox. The Xbox will be getting the NES style wrap, and if I do get a Switch, I will be doing a Super Famicom style wrap on that. I did find a way to get a wrap put on one that would not tear apart the system, because I do know that was actually a problem with the Switch at first. Was skinning it would ruin it, but with the Xbox, it's not a problem at all. I just gotta clean it up real nicely before I hook it up for that. So that's kind of what's on my list right now. So what I'm waiting for right now is for the VGA adapter to get here, and then we'll finally get there, hooking everything up to the monitor and testing it. Alright, so here is our VGA to HDMI adapter. It's from what's it called? VicSing. Ordered this on Amazon the other day, so let's go through what it has. So here's the converter itself. It's got the audio cable, which is included. I thought I was going to have to go get the one from the old monitor. Here is the VGA port, which is going to be, of course, hooking up to the monitor and to this converter. And then as well in the packaging, we have the micro USB cable, which is for power adapters in case it doesn't have enough power to work. So if it doesn't work the first try, I'll hook this up and see how it does. We have the audio cable, like I said, which hooks into the audio port on this and to the monitor to, put sound through the monitor. So I'm going to get all this hooked up and we'll see how it works. Alright everyone, so we finally got everything hooked up, and I can't tell you how long it took me to troubleshoot. So the error I was getting was input signal out of range, changed to 1600 by 900 to 60 Hertz. And that is because this monitor, while I thought was 1080p, is 720p. Now, if you have an HP 2009M, this is probably going to be a problem if you do this method, but I did figure everything out. What I did is I went and hooked this up to an HDTV in the house and swapped it over to 720p. And you're probably wondering, why don't I just keep it on the HDTV? And that's, well, because I want it in my room, and all I have is this SDTV that only plays in red. It's basically a Virtual Boy television. So I told myself I needed to get something that would play on a monitor. So what I did is I went out and found this monitor. Of course, like I said earlier in the video, my mom's old monitor that broke, or not broke, but the computer broke. And I got the adapter, and now everything works pretty nicely. So now I have basically 2 displays in my room, not counting the laptop. It took me a little while to troubleshoot. I tried factory resetting the monitor twice, and still nothing would fix. So eventually I just got the idea. I'm just going to hook this thing up to an HDTV, manually reset the resolution to 720p, and bing bam boom, we've got it to work. So hope you guys enjoyed this pretty neat little video on how to set up the Xbox One on a VGA monitor. Of course, that was more, not as much as a demonstration as much as me just doing it for the video's sake, just to show you guys that I now have another bit of setup to add up here into my little, I don't know where I was going with that. I kind of worked myself to an exhaustion trying to figure out this crap and running around all over the place. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care, guys. We don't want
want drama, we just want commas. My team tryna eat, I'm thinking Benihana. Love or hate me, all that shit just made me stronger. We the new school, this the alma mater. We don't want drama, we don't want drama. We just want the commas, we just want the commas.